Scott's been waiting for you to see him, cause he needs views so he can buy some new shoes. How to be a Gen Z. Please like and subscribe if you're a tool.
Holy am I recording? Yes, I am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the record, I am in a parking lot. And I have no idea why. Okay, so basically, I can clean my room because I have my studio in my room, right? I could totally clean my room if I wanted to, but I don't want to, and I'm lazy. So, what better place? And also, I like tanning. I'm trying to get more tan. So, what better place to just sit and relax and shoot an episode than in a fucking parking lot, right? This is the best idea I think I had in a really long time. So I'm in the parking lot of a Cube Smart, and I don't even know if my shot looks good right now, but I don't think it matters. I forgot. I don't even think did I swear at all? I don't know, but I'm really hungry and I haven't eaten in so long. And yeah. So I just got my driver's license, right? So what happened was I went into driver's ed my school, and then they were like, okay, it's going to take you 2 months to get your driver's license, to get the certificate, to take the road test. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So I took a 5-hour class online, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is going to work. 5-hour class online, get my certificate, go take my road test. So I do. So I go to sit in the class, and it's online. I'm there for 5 hours, and then lo and behold, at the end, they tell me that it's only good for a junior's license. So I'm like, fine, I'll just go get my junior's license so I could drive to work, because I work in Comac. And for those of you who don't live here, I live in like somewhere in the, I'm not going to dox myself, but I live somewhere in like the Sasa, Hicksville, Plainview area. So it's like 20 minutes away. So it's a nice drive. So I don't mind. And I work on weekends, so I don't really care. So I'm like, fine, yeah, I'll just get my junior's license and succeed with that. So then I end up getting it. I sit in driver's ed, and I have to sit in driver's ed now because now I have to like sit there so I get my full certificate. I forgot what that form number is, like MV265, something like that. So I finally got it today, and I drove myself to the DMV, and then, yeah, and I got the fulfilling feeling of getting my full license. And it's not even a plastic card yet. It's just like a piece of paper that they give you. And I'm just like, all right, that's whatever. I don't really mind, as long as it's something I could drive with now. And on the down low, I've been driving, I'm just trying to, I think I'm centered. I don't know. I've been like on the down low, I've been driving with my junior's license everywhere. So it doesn't matter. I don't know if I should say that though, because like, there's nobody here, bro. Whatever. Anyways, so then I'm driving to, the first 5 minutes of this is just going to be me complaining. I'm driving to the DMV because I make my appointment online. It's 400 Oak Street in Garden City. Keep that in mind, in Garden City. So I'm driving, right? And I'm like, okay, I know where to get to the DMV from here. I just need some sort of direction. So I search up Garden City, I search up 400 Oak Street on my Apple Maps on my phone so I can get there, right? And it's a little further than usual. I'm like, okay, probably, it's whatever. It's going to take me to 400 Oak Street. So I'm driving in rush hour traffic, or the start of rush hour traffic, and I'm driving, and I'm just like chilling, listening to music, having a great time, windows down, enjoying myself. And then I get there, and I'm looking for the place, 400 Oak Street. I'm looking for it, and then I park, and I get out of my car only to find a building that's under construction. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, this can't be right. So then I'm looking at my phone calendar because I had the appointment in my phone calendar, so it will tell me. It's going to tell me, like, hey, you have to be at 400 Oak Street now. So it told me, and I asked for directions from Apple Maps through your calendar, and it took me to Garden City, like on the map app. So pretty much I went to the wrong place. And that's like the third time I've done that. Because when I search up directions, I always go like, I never type in the town after. I always assume that it knows what I'm talking about, which is the dumbest thing ever because I've been late to so many of my friends' houses and stuff because I just didn't search up the town after. And it's such an easy thing to, fix and not do. But I just, for some reason, keep on doing it. And I feel like an idiot, but I should really stop doing that. So anyways, I have to drive in full rush hour traffic racing the time because it's like 4:10, and I get there at like 4:30, and the DMV closes at 5. I think I didn't even check. So then I'm driving, and then I finally get there, and then the guy at the desk gives me this like form that I have to fill out to do my thing, and then he gives me a thing to like one of those tickets that I have to wait in line for. And luckily, I didn't have to wait long. I probably waited about 3 minutes, and then finally they called me in, and they were like, "Yo, you need to hand me this form, and then we can finally change whatever the hell you want to change." So I did, and that was fantastic. And people are texting me right now. What do they want? It's my mother. Interesting. My sister's explaining her love and like of the smell of libraries, which is very weird for me to hear. I'm in the middle of a parking lot right now, and it's such nice weather. So I have an episode to record, I think tomorrow, and my room is not clean yet. And I should probably clean my room, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. As much as I tell myself, like, you have to clean your room, I know I'm not going to clean my room. I don't even eat food. It's kind of like that thing where I'm just like, all right, I'm hungry and I have things to do, but the hunger is sort of like this inconvenience in my day. I have to stop whatever I'm doing so I could go get food and fill my stomach up. I think that's the most inconvenient thing on the planet. Maybe that explains why I weigh so little, but it's whatever. So I don't even eat food. So, and I need to do that. So what makes you think I'm gonna clean my room? For those of you who were on the show before, prior to my big break, by the way, which was because of driver's ed, you'll know that my room is like, sometimes it's really clean, and then it progressively just gets worse and worse and worse, and I have to take like a solid 2 days to clean everything out. Then it gets super clean, and then I just stop. I just like stop keeping it clean, and I'm throwing my laundry on the floor, and I'm throwing like all sorts of shit on the floor. I've had like cups in there that are weeks old, and like sometimes I'll bring up food from the kitchen, and it'll be like, I don't know, we'll just say rice and beans, and I'll eat it, and then I'll just leave the bowl there. So it's like gross. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm disgusting, and I'm proud of it. I don't know. But I'm really hungry right now, but I figured why not record this instead of go eat food, because I want to. And, we had a very few interesting events the past few weeks that, I wasn't planning on touching upon them, but I guess we just did. So, there's a thing that happened in Buffalo, my home state, New York, and then there's something that happened in California, and there's something that happened in Texas yesterday. And those things are horrible. And my history teacher raised a really good point in class today, and he said something along the lines of, as like someone who really likes politics and tends to lean left, keep in mind, I'm paraphrasing. This is just something I'm trying to remember it, but it's not going to be exact. So don't take it with a grain of salt. As someone who enjoys politics, the people on the left side tend to just always say, like, okay, it's always like the gun laws, right? It's like, if we get rid of them, then we're not going to have a problem anymore, and things like that. And then the right's always like, no, we kind of want them. And then it's just like big jumbled mess. But what people fail to understand is that it is a combination of like guns and stuff, but it's also a big part on mental health. And then he said, how many people in this like school or whatever need help and they don't get it? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's just, I think it raised a very good point. And, just a very touchy subject I just didn't want to talk about until at least a few days after. But I think it's just crazy how this shit keeps on happening. And I had a friend visit from like out of the country, right? I had a friend visit from out of the country from Asia, some part in Asia. And on the news, we were eating dinner, and on the news comes up the Buffalo mass shooting, and then she had no idea what it was. Like, that's crazy to think about. And not, like, someone who's not from America has no idea what it is, and they don't even understand the concept of it. Like, we had to fully explain it to her. Where, like, a mass shooting is when some guy goes into a public place with a gun and starts shooting people to death. And she didn't understand that. So we had to further explain it more. And, like, it's just crazy to think about. how that shit just doesn't exist in other countries. I don't know. I'm just a kid, so I guess my opinion doesn't mean much, but these are just things I observe. So we were explaining about how in school we do these drills where they shut the lights off and everybody gets in the corner and, like, you know, gotta lock the doors because, you know, things like that. She's like, what the hell is that? You actually have to do that? And we're like, yeah. Crazy world, huh? But, you know, it's whatever. Beautiful weather recently. I think I've been to the beach 3 times within the past week, and I'm just, like, building my tan. I'm really just trying to get bronze. Like, I'm loving the color of my skin right now. I think it needs to get, like, 5 shades darker, and then I'll be satisfied. Not like the color of the shirt. I think that wouldn't match me, but I'm almost there if you really think about it. I'm, like, actually almost there. But anyways, besides the point, school ends soon, and I think it's a very interesting thing for a lot of people, especially like seniors, right? You're ending a portion of your life, and then you're moving on to a whole new chapter. Like, that's crazy to think about. You're done with grade school, which has been such a big part of your life for, like, what is it, 12 years, 13 years? And you get to step out and say goodbye forever. And some people really enjoy that, and some people are super excited, and other people are scared of what the world has to offer for them. And, you know, if you just, like, talk to seniors, they'll be like, either they'll be like, yo, I hate this place, I can't wait to get out, or like, yo, I don't know what to do, I'm shitting myself. And I think everybody goes through that in June before the summer break, no matter what grade you are, because you have 2 months of freedom to yourself, and it can be scary, because I don't know what I want to do with myself for 2 months. Obviously, I'm going to work, do my jobs and stuff, and go hang out with people, go find somebody to record with at, like, a random area, but overall, I think it's a very scary thing for a lot of people, you know, especially for me. Maybe I'm just, like, generalizing, but for me specifically, I think it's really scary that I have 2 months of freedom to myself. Like, I hate routine, and I hate schedules, and I hate how strict it is, but at the same time, it keeps me in line. You know, as much as I hate it, it makes me sane. It keeps me sane, keeps me on track, so I don't lose myself. But in the summer, you got 2 months of just nothing. And you have to be responsible for yourself and creating a schedule for yourself to keep you on track so you don't slip up through the summer and then you end up, like, not being able to come back to line in September. So I think a job is a great way to do that. I think not enough kids in this generation have a job, like an actual job I'm talking about, not like I babysit. No, that wasn't fair. Babysitting is a very fair job. It's very difficult too. But I'm saying, like, babysitting your own siblings, if they don't need to be babysat and your parents just pay you $40 an hour to sit at home with your siblings, I wouldn't really count that as babysitting. You know, I remember my sisters never got paid. You know, my oldest sister is 6 years apart from me. The other one's 3 years apart from me. And when I was, like, 6 and she was 9 and Brittany was, like, what was her? She was like 12. 6 years. Like, my parents never paid her because it's just, like, a duty that you have to do as an older sibling. Like, sometimes you just have to look after your younger ones. And I don't think you should get paid for that. But I'm talking, like, a real job. I don't know, maybe work in a supermarket or go work on a golf course. I know plenty of people who work on a golf course, and they make tons of money. So, one, it's good for you because you get some routine, and you learn a lot about your own work ethic and what you need to improve on. And also, you make some money on the side. What is worse than that? You get to just, you know, and also it's a good benchmark to see what your maturity level is, too. I think a lot of people overlook that about getting a job. Okay, it's still recording. Cool beans. I get scared. Anyways, I think it's a good benchmark to see your emotional maturity level, because not only you're not working with people just around your age group anymore, like school. You're not just surrounded by people your own age group. You are fully working with adults who could be twice your age. You know, that's, like, I think it's pretty awesome. You could be working with a 55-year-old and also, like, a 75-year-old and, like, someone your own age, and it gauges how well-rounded you are, like, in your ability to you know, understand larger concepts. Yeah, so I think a lot of people can benefit from getting a job, especially at an age like this in your adolescence. It's a very core thing to have. And, you know, who knows? You're so young, and you get a job, and maybe you find what you like, and you find what you want to do for the rest of your life. At this age, that's fantastic. If you can figure out what you want to do at this age, and just start taking steps to getting there and building a career now, it's pretty good. It's really good. There's people who are in college who can't even figure it out yet, or like even college is young, or like in their 20s and 30s and they still don't know yet, and that's scary. I'm scared of that. You know, I'd love to think I'd love to do like audio for the rest of my life, but we got to be realistic here. What can I do? I'm not like good at making music, and I like music a lot, but I'm not good enough to open a career in music. I know how to plug things in and make them sound good, I guess, and I could talk, I guess. I don't know, but I'm scared of that, you know. But if you can figure out what you want to do and start taking steps before everybody else, it's pretty solid. You'll be pretty set, and you'll find fulfillment in your own life. I was watching a TV show called F is for Family by Bill Burr, and I really like that show. It takes place in the 70s. It's like this dad who still carries the baggage from his dad being a horrible dad, and like he tries not to be like his dad when he's raising his kids, but whether he likes it or not, he ends up being just like his father. So at the end of the show, I'm not going to spoil it, something happens and the father leaves behind tapes. So Bill Burr, which is the comedian and also the dad in the show, goes to go find his dad's tapes. He goes to go find his dad's tapes, and then he takes him out, and then he starts playing them, and the tape says, "A man's work gives him purpose." And I think that makes a lot of sense. I think a man's work does give him purpose to a certain extent, but you got to find a balance. I feel like life is all about finding the balance. So you got, like, on one hand, you really like your job, and like that's what you live for, but then you got to have other things too. You know what I mean? In a way, it's kind of sad to only live to work unless your job is what you truly enjoy. I know some people enjoy teaching, like they live to teach. That's awesome. Some people are mechanics; they live to be like mechanics. But there's got to be a balance. You know, those people have a balance. They have a family at home. They enjoy teaching, but not just the teaching. I feel like I'm explaining this very poorly, considering I'm just like hungry and I'm just like rambling on. But it's definitely definitely find the balance. I think it's a very fair statement too. But in other words, the Regents got canceled for U.S. history for New York State. For those of you who don't know, the Regents exam is sort of like it's a standardized test at the end of the year, and it's pretty much like a final. So your final exam at the end of the year is called New York State's Regents exam, and you take them in English, science, math, and history. So 4 things. And it got canceled for the U.S. history one because I think it was the content. The content is too graphic considering the recent events of the Buffalo mass shooting, which is a very interesting point. But a lot of people aren't even complaining. They're like, damn. I mean, I wouldn't complain. I wasn't complaining. I know a lot of people were. They're like, yo, I don't understand. The kids this generation are too sensitive, and like, yo, too sensitive. They can't even take a test. Yo, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? We fully just got out of a Regents exam, which, by the way, I think is like a 2-hour test. Book is like this thick. You fully just got out of a Regents exam, and I hear you complaining. Are you serious? That's some bullshit. Just like take the W and leave. It was like blowing up all over Twitter. I remember like being in school and like I asked my history teacher. I found him in the hallway. I was like, yo, is that true? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, the Regents, they're canceled. And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean I don't know? I thought like you would have gotten a text or something. If anyone, it should have been you, right? Mr. History Man. And then he was like, actually, like, I don't know. I'll check. And then he gets back to me when I actually have his class 4 periods later. He's like, yo, guess what? You were right. And we don't have U.S. History Regents. And everybody's like so happy. It's like the happiest I've seen my school as a collective in ages. That's the happiest I've seen my school as a collective than like March 12th or 11th of 2020 when COVID got shut down. Because we thought, mind you, we only thought it was going to be 2 weeks. So I remember I was sitting in the courtyard of my school with my friends during my lunch period, and then there's an announcement. Well, first, my friends and I were talking. We're like, yo, SIAS is not going to shut down because I just doxed myself. Whatever. I'll bleep it out. Our school's not going to shut down because they just don't want to. Our school is just weird like that. So we stayed open. I think we were one of the longest schools on the island that stayed. One of the schools on the island that stayed open the longest. What a mouthful. Anyways, so then we're like, okay, yeah, I don't think they're gonna close. And if they do close, it's for the weekend to do cleaning. I remember this like this was yesterday. This is so weird because just like 2 seconds ago I was a freshman. Whatever. Okay. So I am standing in the courtyard with my friends, and it's really good weather out. I don't know why I had to add that. And then all of a sudden, like an announcement goes off, and it's like bing, 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 bing. And then the guy's like, we're waiting. We thought maybe it was like a lockdown drill or something, but the guy ends up saying like, ladies and gentlemen of blank high school, we are closing for 2 weeks due to COVID-19, and we're going to be doing all the cleaning stuff and whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then we all start cheering. Like, you could hear people in the hallways screaming. It was great. It was, like, one of those moments of unity where it was just, like, so funny. And there's, like, kids, just pictures and videos of kids hanging on the stall doors, like, oh, my God, we don't have school for 2 weeks. Like, that's fantastic. So then I was like, yeah, this is great. And then 6 months later... back in the high school, like just moping along the whole day. It was horrible. What a bad dude. I really want Taco Bell right now. But isn't that weird how time flies? I feel like ever since COVID started, time has been flying. Like, time has been flying so much faster than it did beforehand. I remember before COVID, days would feel like days, and sometimes days would feel like 2 days. And when you woke up at a bad time, like I'm talking, you got 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, it actually felt like you got 4 hours of sleep. You know, everything was much more relative. It was all like in order. My hair is killing me. But now I'm telling you, man, a day feels like half a day. It's so crazy. Ever since like we got out of quarantine, or like in quarantine even, it's just like the days feel so much shorter. It's crazy, bro. Like, I'm telling you. So last fall, when we stepped into in the school for the 2021 to 2022 school year, right? It was like I knew for a fact that it was definitely gonna go by fast, so I wasn't even worried. So I knew like a lot of my friends were always like, "Yo, this year's gonna be such a drag. I'm gonna hate it. It's gonna feel horrible." And then I was like, no, trust me, because it's just going to feel like 6 months, like tops. Like winter is going to be here before you know it. And then after that, it's just going to be winter, and then spring, and then boom, summer. And here we are. We are on the like bridge of summer. You know, it isn't like, it's, what is it, May? What is it? It's May 25th. Like, come on. Felt like 2 months. The school year is wild. I don't think I took many tests either. I don't know, because I heard a rumor from one of my friends who's really like in the teacher world, I guess. I think his parents are like teachers, and he was like, yeah, so basically the school board of like a lot of school districts pretty much asked the teachers this year to take it easy on the kids, considering last year we had like hybrid learning and whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't believe him until I finally got here now, and I was like, wow, this year was actually extremely easy, especially for being my junior year, which is like considered the hardest year of your life in high school, in like grade school. I don't know, it was pretty easy. I didn't take many tests. Maybe it's because I didn't take the SAT, ACT, and I feel like I should, but I'm not going to, because like the schools I'm applying for they're all test optional, and I had like people telling me like, yo, just take it anyways because, you know, it just looks better. But I'm like, okay, let's do the math here, because first of all, I didn't take math this year, and I am not taking math next year. So what's going to end up happening is just like I'm going to bomb the whole math part of the test. So I'm just going to like, I'm going to get a horrible score. I'm not going to subject myself to that. That's like worse. I feel like it's going to be worse than if I actually handed it in, because like that didn't make any sense. I'm saying like I feel like it would be better to not hand it in than to hand it in. And I should have brought a chair with like a back on it. I thought this chair was cool. I bought it at a thrift store for $15. It folds up really nicely. It's like cool. But like it doesn't have lumbar support. So I'm just like sitting here and then like rocking myself. It's like so annoying. But it's okay. But anyways, school has gone by so fast. And what's scary is like that's miserable for a lot of people. And it went by so fast. Think about how fast the summer is going to be. If you actually genuinely enjoy your time in the summer, it's just going to be like so fast, gone. So I think try to live it day by day, I guess. I don't know. You know, I get that feeling on vacations. Like I went to San Francisco recently to go like visit college and stuff. And I really like California and I really like San Francisco. So I was like trying to savor my time there because I knew 5 days just going to fly by so fast. Felt like 3 days. 5 days feels like 2. You know, it's crazy. So then you end up just taking it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. Just like, this is my time here, and I'm going to make the best of it. Even though you know it's going to go by fast, I think this summer's going to be the same. I'm going to try to keep the mentality of, this is how much time I have to myself. 2 months. I'm not going to schedule it too much, because when you schedule things tend to go by faster if you, like, allot moments. I know people who schedule out their summer, like, this is the week I'm going to go to the beach all the time. And, like, this is the week I'm going to go on a vacation and, like, just hang out with these people. Like, I just kind of take it, play it by ear. It's kind of just like, all right, this week's going to be July 4th. I always go here for July 4th, so I'm probably going to go there again anyways. Just, like, general steps along the way to keep it in line. Because, like, if you ever have that thing where it's like, I'm really looking forward to this, and then you schedule it, and then that day, like, takes forever to get there, I feel like you use that to your advantage in the summer. Because, like, you got all the time. I think it makes sense. Well, how much time are we at? We're at 26 minutes. This episode was sort of just like me rambling. I mean, I don't think there's much constructive talk here. I think I'm just going to take it easy for a little bit and then come back tomorrow and then just like record with the actual person and get down and dirty. As of now, I'm really just trying to like relearn the whole thing again. Because like there's a way to do it that I like learned and I kind of just like forgot it. It's like you find your like, I don't know, your mojo. I don't fucking know. You find your like your thing, and this is how I speak into this. This is my mannerisms, and like this is how I talk to other people. And I just like haven't done this in like 3 months, so I kind of just like forgot everything. So I think I'm just gonna let it go and let it fly by and just hang out. But another interesting thing about doing this is I find that you can see how you grow over the course of, because I started in like December, so you can see yourself grow through time and like the way you're the different words in your vocabulary that you use and the different way you enunciate your letters and words and whatever, and your ability to grasp concepts and understand them. And also just like my hair, dude, like my hair has grown like 6 inches since December. I just have not gotten a haircut because I wanted a long hair summer. I never had one before. I want to like go to the beach and like my wind is just blowing in the hair. I don't think that's so much to ask. My father doesn't like it. He's like, you need to get a haircut. But like, look at this mop. It also looks bad just because I have headphones on. But I'm waiting for my friends to come because we're going to get food. So, yeah. But otherwise, I guess that's it for now. I got to show you the chair before I leave because I have like 2 minutes left on video. I'll be set. Look, ready? Hold on. Isn't that great? I think it's such a great chair. I think it's actually such a nice chair. I only paid $15 for it too. What a fantastic deal. But yeah, anyways, like and subscribe and do whatever you gotta do. And I'll see you soon. Deuces.
Scott's been waiting